Have you watched any of the I apologize, I was pronouncing her name incorrectly. I guess her name is Fani Willis, the DA down in Georgia.
I could not like sit still and watch it. I wanted to.
Whoa. I watched all of her testimony and her boyfriend, Mr. Wade's testimony. Wade's wasn't, I mean, it was pretty much what you would expect. Her testimony, I'll put it to you this way.
All right,
I
hold on.
kind of
Before
hope,
you get into that, explain who she is and what
okay,
what happened and why she's
good,
important.
good point. So Fani Willis is the district attorney in Fulton County, Georgia, who has levied the charges for the I forget what the RICO case against Donald Trump in the state of Georgia. She hired an attorney by the name, I forget his Nathan Wade, Nathan or Nathaniel Wade, Nathan Wade, I believe, to help run the case. And Mr. Wade was paid, I believe, $650,000, or at least up to a certain point had been paid $650,000, or I should say his firm, to be more accurately, his firm was paid $650,000. From what I understand, wholly not necessarily unqualified. Well, yeah, unqualified to work on this kind of case. It later came out that the two of them were bumping uglies. This man was also married, technically still married. He's going through a divorce as we speak. And they had taken some trips, as she said, vacations together. And he paid for those using his business credit card. Now, her defense is that she paid him back uh, her half of said vacations in cash. But I'm like, it really doesn't matter how you slice this. There's a problem pretty much no matter how you look at it. Because, yeah, okay, maybe she did pay him back in cash. Um, First off, the business credit card, like really? I guess technically if you reimburse it, but there's been like there's a whole lot of problems, and Ms. Willis may or may not have admitted to a felony during her testimony, which I want to slap the Trump lawyers for this because they didn't follow up on it. Now maybe they couldn't, um, but I'm not going to say she did this because the way she said it was unclear, but it was certainly enough to be like, come again? What did you say? Because she talked about taking a large sum of money in regards to her campaign.
So my question was, where did that cash originally come from? If it didn't come out of the bank.
Cash is fungible. I've had cash for years in my house. So for me to tell you the source of when it comes from, when you go to Publix and you buy something, you get $50, you throw it in there. When it's been my whole life. When I took out a large amount of money on my first campaign, I kept some of the cash of that. Like, to tell you I just have cash in my house.
Now, the way she said it should have been construed as she took money out of her campaign and kept it as cash, or she took money out of her own personal accounts and put it into her campaign, and she kept some of the money she withdrew in the form of cash that all didn't go to her campaign. But nobody followed up on it. And I'm kind of like, hang on. But I guess that's my point. But her testimony, I'll put it this way. After watching her testimony, I hope she stays on as district attorney
Why? Because then it's
because
gonna get taken.
she's incompetent.
I mean,
This woman,
obviously.
I do not understand how I well, she got the job because it's an elected position. Like, and this sounds bad, and somebody's gonna say that I'm being racist here, and I'm not, but like she doesn't even speak proper English on the stand. This woman is supposed to be the district attorney of Fulton County, Georgia, and she cannot even string together proper English while she's testifying under oath. And not only that, this woman's a bitch. Like, she is a nasty, just bitter person who clearly hates men and white people. Like, it's pretty obvious. Like, her testimony is something fierce.
All right, I guess I'm gonna have to take a look at it.
You, it's a hard watch because a lot of it is actually
Slow.
hers is pretty interesting because she's argumentative the entire time, and they even make it a point. So she's testifying because as soon as Mr. Wade was finished, she went in there, and they were like, "Okay, yeah, if you want to testify, let's do it." So I guess part of me is thinking maybe she was hoping the other counsel was not prepared to cross-examine her, but I just I don't I don't understand what her thought process was, because she said, well, like, I thought naturally I would be next. It's like, well, they didn't call you, so I don't know why you would assume you would be next, or that they would even assume you would testify, because technically you can plead the Fifth Amendment and not testify.
Well, I'll tell you what, a lot of people should be taking the Fifth Amendment.
Donald Trump being one of them.
Yeah.
Which actually, I think his lawyers have pretty well said. It's like, Donald, shut up. In fact, just don't even come.